Thank you, everybody, for your patience. I appreciate that. Call this meeting of the Clay County Commission to order. We will begin with Mark Willis. Did we already? Oh, there you are. You know, I can tell this is going to be a tough night.
It was mean. I'm sorry. That was sorry.
I'll give you my candy bar if you're nice to me.
I know. I have heard there's a game on tonight, so I'll try to cut this down to a 30 or 40-minute prayer, if that's with you. So, I've been a pastor for about 25 years, and I served North Oak Christian Church here in the Northland now in Clay County, but served a lot of other churches. And over that 25 years, I've learned a lot about churches. One of the first lessons I learned that was really important was that churches are entirely volunteer-driven. All of the ministry, the mission, the outreach, anything that we do happens because of our volunteers. I often tell my church the only person that's paid to be there on Sunday morning is me. Everybody else chooses to be there. They've volunteered for some reason. They saw a community they wanted to be a part of. They saw a need that they felt they could help meet. They saw something that said, hey, send me, I can help. And I was reflecting on that as I was getting ready to come up here tonight. I have to be honest, for most of my adult life, I don't know that I gave much thought to county supervisors. I sincerely doubt that in grade school, when your teacher said, what do you want to be when you grew up? That you were like, every Thursday night, I want to be a county supervisor in Clay County. I don't think that happened, right? But it's necessary work. Somebody's got to make sure the trains run on time. It's important work to far more people than will ever realize it. Something I'm cognizant about in my church is throughout the year, many times, because I know that if the volunteers stop coming, we're in trouble, I say thank you a lot. I thank my volunteers specifically for what they do. I tell them how much I appreciate them over and over again. So I just wanted to say that tonight to you. Thank you. Thank you for your service. You are public servants doing a job that most people have no idea what it is. But you come on Thursday night and you do it. And we appreciate that. And to the people who show up with an issue that is important enough to say, I'm going to be late to the game so I can talk about this tonight. Thank you. And I know there are people that are here because it's their job and they have to be here. And I thank them as well. So with that, would you join me in a word of prayer? Most gracious and glorious God, we thank you for this absolutely beautiful day that you have blessed us with. The sun is shining. The temperatures are a little cooler and football is in the air. It is a beautiful day. And absolutely no one would rather be in this room doing these tasks than being outside enjoying the day you have gifted us with. But there is work to be done, Lord. Tasks to be completed, policies to be enacted, reports to be given, debates to be had. And so we come to serve our neighbors, to serve our communities, to serve our cities, to serve our county. Thank you for each of those who come here tonight to serve in some way. Watch over and bless them as they do this work. Open their eyes and their hearts to the needs of their community and inspire them with solutions. Grant them grace and wisdom, patience and understanding, and a true sense of justice that they might serve honorably and faithfully to their community and to you. Bless them with listening ears, compassionate hearts, and passion-filled spirits. Help them to embrace their call to serve and to serve well. We pray all of this in the name of the one who loves us and inspires us to serve. Amen.
Thank you. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. With that, we'll go ahead and do our roll call. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Nolte.
Here.
Commissioner Withington.
Here.
Commissioner Lawson.
Here.
Commissioner Wagner. Here. Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Thompson.
Here.
Commissioner Carpenter.
Here.
Thank you. Next on the agenda will be our approval of this evening's agenda. Commissioner Johnson, if you, hold on a moment. Yeah, okay, you're already on, so please go right ahead.
I move to approve tonight's agenda.
Motion's been made for the approval of this evening's agenda. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, you're recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Withington? Yes. Commissioner Lawson? Yes. Commissioner Wagner? Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Next on our agenda are public comments. Are there any members of the public who wish to address the commission on any subjects? Seeing none. That brings us to our consent agenda. Administrator?
The consent agenda allows the Commission to act upon items considered to be routine and approved in one motion. These may include items that have been reviewed by the Commission in a prior session. There will be no separate discussion unless a Commissioner requests that an item be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. There are 6 items on the consent agenda this evening. The first item is approval of the Commission meeting minutes for August 15th and August 22nd. Resolution 2024-250 is approve invoice payments for Clay County from August 21st through August 30th. And my program just left me, so here we go. There are a total of 260 invoices in the amount of $1,183,913.62. Resolution 2024-247 is approving the 2025 County Aid Road Trust Program Agreement between the Missouri Department of Conservation and the Clay County Road and Bridge Department. Resolution 2024-248 is the transfer within the fund and the amount of $30,000 to adjust the budget for trash collection for the Parks Department. Resolution 2024-252 is approving the refund request to David Freeman for an electrical permit in the amount of $90 due to project being canceled. And Resolution 2024-253 is approving the purchase of a 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 and a trade-in of a 2008 GMC Sierra with Rusty Drewing Chevrolet Buick for the Parks Department.
Are there any comments before I go for a motion on this issue? Seeing none, Commissioner Johnson.
Move to approve tonight's consent agenda.
Motion has been made for the approval of this evening's consent agenda. Further discussion? Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Withington? Yes. Commissioner Lawson? Yes. Commissioner Wagner? Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. That brings us to our regular agenda. First item on this evening's regular agenda is 2024-249. Administrator.
Resolution 2024-249 is a request for the waiver of fees, interest, penalties, and taxes due to a county error by the applicant Vanessa Paredes. And I do not believe that the applicant is able to be here this evening. I believe that they had to work, and I think Thursday evenings might be an issue for the applicant to be here. Their application is included in your packet with their information, and we certainly have the assessor and the collector here to answer any questions about this request that the commission may have.
Do the assessor or the collector have any comments on this issue? Okay. Is there any discussion on this issue before we go forward for a motion? And I would remind any maker of the motion to indicate which box would be checked on this particular issue. That is unique with these issues. So, are there any questions? Any discussion? Commissioner Carpenter?
Thank you, Commissioner. So, what I see is that both our county assessor and our county collector assert that there is no fault on behalf of the county. Is that correct?
Tracy Ballroom, Clay County Assessor. That's correct, Commissioner. There's a whole lot of information in this packet, and the core issue with this was the purchase date of the vehicle that's in question. The 2018 Honda was purchased 8/17 of 2019. They did their assessment form, which is, I believe, page 9 or 10. And on their assessment, which was turned in February of 2020, it still had the Honda, the 2000 Honda. At that time, it should have been changed to the 2018 Honda. So when her tags renewed in 22, they had come in, and that's when they notified that that vehicle was never added. So that's what generated the penalties and interest. Then later in 22, they moved out of the county and didn't notify the county that there was a different address at the time.
Thank you.
Further questions or
Yeah,
comments?
well, if I
Oh,
could,
sorry,
yeah,
please go ahead.
I guess I would just suggest, I think we've got confident assertions from our collector and assessor that there's no fault of the county, and, short of evidence to suggest otherwise, I think it's a pretty straightforward decision.
Well, something that we always observe when we are taking up these issues is that these issues are, of course, controlled by state statute, and we must follow state statute. There is no wiggle room possible in many cases, so we're just basically having to make sure that we apply the law the way it was written and the way we understand it to be. There's no further discussion. Is there a motion related to 2024-249? Commissioner Carpenter.
Yes, Commissioner, I move that we approve 2024-249 with the box marked denied.
Motion's been made for the approval of 2024-249 with a box indicating denial checked. Any further discussion? Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Commissioner Withington? Yes. Commissioner Lawson? Yes. Commissioner Wagner? Aye. Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is 2024-246. Administrator.
Resolution 2024-246 is approving the reallocation of $700,000 of ARPA funds from the North Kansas City Burlington Street Waterline Project to the Paseo Industrial District Stormwater Sewer Project. If you may, I'd like to talk a little bit about this particular item.
Could you speak a little bit more closely to your mic, please?
Back in 2022, the county went out and solicited input from agencies in Clay County with regarding ARPA funding. Municipalities and other not-for-profit agencies were awarded ARPA funds. As we are all aware, in compliance with the ARPA requirements, the projects must be encumbered and obligated under contract by the end December of 2024, this year. The City of North Kansas City, at the time when proposals were submitted, they submitted a project that they're doing on Burlington Street in North Kansas City, which is also Missouri Highway 9. It was a water project, which is an eligible ARPA project, I believe also with a sewer project that they were doing. Well, whenever you're working on MoDOT right-of-way and highway, sometimes things can take a little longer than anticipated. And the City of North Kansas City has basically come to us and said, we are not going to be able to meet the deadline of December of this year on this particular project because of circumstances that they must do in compliance and working with Missouri Department of Transportation. Since the application process, there has been a project that has become a priority for the City of North Kansas City, and it is called the Paseo Industrial District, and there was a typo on your resolution that we're correcting. It's not DRIVE, but it is Paseo Industrial District, and it is a stormwater project. Because of the circumstances, they've had to close some of the streets in the area, which they have businesses in the area. This has become a high priority project for the City of North Kansas City. They are finishing up the design, and they anticipate going out to bid for construction in October. So this project would definitely be under contract. It is an eligible ARPA project because it is a stormwater project. They anticipate the engineer's estimate for this project is $1.5 million. They are not asking for any more ARPA money. They are just requesting that the $700,000 that had been allocated to the water line project be actually reallocated to this stormwater project that they are wanting to get done and are actually in the process of doing. And so staff would recommend reallocating those funds. Mike Nichols, the city administrator from North Kansas City, is here and would be happy to answer any specific questions that the commission may have about that project.
Does anyone have any questions or comments, particularly to the administrator on this issue? Commissioner Wagner.
Well, not necessarily to the administrator, although she may be able to answer it. I just wanted to be sure that if it's going to bid and they can use our funds right away, I am assuming that the balance of the funds for that project have already been encumbered by the city of North Kansas City and are available? Yeah, go right ahead. Sorry, Mike, I should have just told you, just go up there, do that.
Please remember to put the microphone on, identify yourself, speak into the microphone, and
That's
make your
good. Can
statement.
y'all, sorry, I want to get where, yes, the funds are in place. We've even got for our proposed 25 budget, it's even in there to cover that.
Perfect.
But yes, they are.
Perfect. I figured as much, but might as well ask the question. You came all this way. So.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner Johnson.
So one of my concerns has always been with the ARPA funds is that they all get expended. We don't leave anything on the table. And obviously the Burlington Street water line, that's something that wasn't going to get done in time. But are we certain that we'll have whatever we need to have done by the deadlines to have this money spent and not give any back?
Yes. Yes, it'll be bid and under contract by the end of this year, meeting the requirement of such.
And again, just to clarify for the commission, it has to be obligated under contract by the end of the year, but because it is a construction project and others, we actually have until 2026 to actually complete the projects and do basically final pay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? I just want to say this is one of the, and we are winding this process down with the ARPA money. One of the things that I think, bigger picture, that I'm so happy to see is I've always thought that the relationship between the county and the municipalities was an important one and one that should be nurtured and expanded upon. One of the upsides I see, apart from obviously getting some projects done that are very worthy and necessary to get done, is it has, I think, given us more opportunities to work with municipalities like North Kansas City and strengthen those ties and those relationships. I think what people generally want from us as government is to all play nice in the sandbox together, and this is very conducive to that process. And you know, the projects that you've brought forth and the other municipalities have brought forth have been entirely worthy and in the public interest, which is of course the main test is, are we expending public monies in a way beneficial to our citizens? And I thank you very much, not only for what you brought forward, but your professionalism. And by the way, you know, as you were here, I was just remembering your mom. So I mean, it's nice to have a multi-generational relationship going. So thank you for being here in North Kansas City.
If I may to that, my son is out in the lobby, but it was nice to be able to bring him in and show him the picture up there. So that was a neat aspect of being here tonight. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the consideration as well. On behalf of the city, we're grateful.
Commissioner Johnson, did you wish to be recognized?
I move to approve 2024-246.
Motion's been made for the approval of 2024-246. Any further discussion? Seeing none, you are recognized to close. I'm sorry, Commissioner Lawson, I didn't notice.
No, I didn't mean.
Oh, I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Withington?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner? Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. And thank you. That brings us to our next and final item on the regular agenda this evening. That's 2024-251. Administrator.
Resolution 2024-251 is approving invoice payments for Clay County Prosecutor's Office from August 21st to August 30th. There are 19 invoices that total $8,873.07.
Commissioner Johnson.
Move to approve 2024-251.
Motion has been made for the approval of 2024-251. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, you're recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Withington? Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner? Commissioner Thompson?
I recuse myself.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Motion passes 5 in favor, 1 recusal.
Thank you. That brings us to the conclusion of our regular agenda. Next, our discussion items. We have one item under discussion. Administrator?
Yes, thank you, Commissioner. It is that time of the year where we look at our employee benefit program and renewal for our health insurance and some of our other programs that we provide and that are also volunteer programs for employees. So I'd like to introduce our Human Resources Director, Kim Callahan, who will provide some information to the Commission and staff's recommendation for 2025.
Thank you. Please proceed.
All right, good evening, Commissioners. Kim Callahan, HR Director. So I'm here to present the 25 Employee Benefit Program. This is HR's favorite time of the year, benefit renewal and then open enrollment. So due to the hard work of our broker, CBiz, negotiating with our benefits provider, and also our county administrators' expertise at crunching numbers, we've got good news for you this year. I know, Scott, you're looking at me like, yeah, right. Okay, so our vision with IMED is under rate guarantee until 2027. Lincoln, our long-term disability, renewed with no plan rate changes at a 2-year rate guarantee. Our EAP program, which is through CureLink, our employee assistance program, there was no change to the plans or rates. So with dental, we're coming off a rate guarantee, and we have a dual option plan that I'm going to show you the proposal in just a couple of slides. We have our life insurance through Standard, and that is for every full-time employee. We provide life and AD&D for those employees. What we're proposing this year is to evaluate the pricing to eliminate age reduction schedule, and that is about $1,200 a month. And what that is for our employees that are 65 and older, their life insurance gets reduced. When they are 65, it's reduced by 35%. When they're 70, it's reduced by 50%. So I know all the boomers are leaving, but not all the boomers are leaving. We still have people 65 up to 75 working. So that's, we had them look into that. So this would cover those employees that are still working. Let's see. So our healthcare plans are our cost plans with Blue KC, our SpiraCare, Preferred Care Blue, and our Blue Select Plus EPO plan. So the plan changes this year. The increase in the HSA deductible went up to $3,300 for SpiraCare and Preferred Care, and that's per IRS rules. So you can see the 3 different plans. The individual went from $3,200 to $3,300. The family went to $6,600. That's on SpiraCare and the Preferred Care plan. Then the EPO stays the same. So our funding requirements, where are we at here? Okay. So our stop loss is at 100K, and our claims, our expected claims will be 5.6, with the max at 6.1. So below that, you see the fees, admin fee of $310, a stop loss premium at 1.9, and these are fees that go to our fixed costs of $2 million. I want you to note that we have a half-month admin credit of $29,000 that was negotiated by CBiz, and we also have a $354,000 RX carve-in credit. So these are proposed rates for 2025, which is no changes to the employee or employer. We're proposing that it stay the same. So this is going to be wonderful at open enrollment, especially this year for people with all the costs that have gone up. I mean, this should make everyone very happy. We're going to continue covering the employee-only plan at 100%. Right now, you can see we have 170 employees that partake in that plan. So, and the HSA, like I said, it's changing to $3,300 for the deductible for Spira and HSA. Let's see. Okay, the financial analysis is the proposed premiums, the revenues for 2025 would be 7.2 million, with 2024 being the 7.2. So expenditures for proposed would be at the max 6.1 million, with our fixed costs at 2 million, which would total 8.2 million. So 2024, this is what we're going to get at 6.95,000 in maximum claims. Our fixed cost is 1.6, with total expenditures being 7.74. The difference being $431,000. So hold on to that number. So maximum claims, this is the worst that it could be in 2025. We have a beginning balance as of January the 1st will be $2,610,000. So with our estimated revenues at 7 million and our fixed cost at 2 and our estimated claims at 6.1, that would leave our ending cash at 1.6. And that's the maximum claims. So what we're expecting, though, would leave an estimated end at 2.2 million. Okay, and CBIZ is recommending a reserve of 507. So that's good news. Okay, and these are the dental options that we're proposing. On the left in the blue, this is our current plan. What we're proposing is a base plan, which would be $50 per year for the employee. There's a max of $1,000 per person per year. There's no orthodontia coverage in this. There is 100% on preventative services and 75% at basic services. But it does not cover any major services or, again, any orthodontic. This is for people that don't have issues. This is a basic plan. But then we have the premium plan, which is what everyone has right now. And so they can buy up to that, and it would be $25 for an individual or $75 for a family, the deductible. And then it covers $1,500 per person. That's your max per year, but it also includes $1,500 per person for orthodontia. Okay, so preventative services are at 100%, the basic services are at our 80%, and then major and orthodontia is at 50%. So that's the difference, and they have the option. And then I'll show you what the cost would be. So we're proposing to cover the basic plan for employees only at 100%. So that would be a basic plan for an employee, and that would cost the county $24.02 per month. And that would save them $35.92 per month. So the basic plan for employee and spouse is $23.60, employee and child $22.11, and full family is $43. So if they do the premium plan, which is the plan that we have now, it would be the employee would only pay $12.91, which is a savings of $23 per month. All the way up to family, they would pay $93.10 a month, which is a savings of $20.83. So this is basically the county is picking up $127,000 for dental. Every year I get asked, when's the county going to pay into some dental? And it's just, so I think this is great that we're going to be able to do this, and I think the employees are going to be thrilled. I know I am. Okay, and then I'm available for any questions.
Thank you very much. Not only was it a good presentation, but it was good news as well. I don't know that since I've been here, I've seen things go quite so well as this. So congratulations to you, your department, of course, the administrator, and the whole team who was working on this so hard. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to hear some good news on this front.
Yeah, thank you.
Commissioner Wagner.
Thank you. It is good news. I think CBIZ did a good job for us. My only question is understanding what drives or what potentially drives that maximum number. So we have our, as I understand, we have that expected number, then we have this
Yeah.
maximum number.
Yeah.
But what is it that could contribute to driving up towards that maximum number? And it could be just a for instance, but understanding that better.
Well, see the difference between the claims? The revenues and the fixed cost, it stays.
No,
yeah.
I understand the numbers. What I'm trying to understand is what
Right.
kinds of claims would drive that maximum claim number?
Right, so if I might.
Yeah.
So again, these numbers, as you all know, are done by actuarial studies, right?
Right.
Looking at our claim history of the industry standard. And so they're anticipating, we're a cost-plus program with Blue Cross Blue Shield, which means the most that the plan as a county would be our maximum claims. And so, but they look at our history and our trend, which is why they say, well, we expect you to really be at the 5.6. So the difference, what could generate more claims is we have employees that actually use the plan more, and they get in higher utilization than between expected and the maximum, and that's very hard to predict.
Yeah.
I would say, Kim kind of talked, if you could go back a slide, Kim, about the fixed cost comparison right there. So fixed costs, if you look, well, Kim said, you're comparing our 25 proposed to our 2024, we're talking about $431,000. The bulk of that increase is in fixed costs, right? It's going up 20%. Our medical claims, maximum to maximum, is only going at 2%, which is really about medical inflation cost, right? Because they think that really our employees and our medical needs are kind of leveling off based on what they're seeing. Fixed costs went up because of our reinsurance. We pay for reinsurance. As Kim said, we have an attachment point of $100,000. So any individual that has insurance with us and their claims total for the year go above $100,000, we get money back from our reinsurance. We pay for that. We pay for insurance. But it took a 22% increase. And the reason is we have, this year, right now, we have 8 claimants that have got in and above the reinsurance, right? And so 8 claimants is 0.7% of the number of claimants that we have, but the total amount that we paid on those claims is almost 40% of the claims that will be paid. And that's pretty common, right? And that's why you have insurances for those catastrophic cases. So to your point about what could get us into from expected to max, it could be another significant claim that doesn't reach the attachment point but gets up there. And so that's why we always budget for the worst case scenario and plan for that if we got to the maximum, what would that do to the fund? And we believe that even with the maximum, with the fund balance that we have, that we can handle a no rate increase for the employee and the employer this year.
Gotcha. So to kind of dumb it down for me, it's not really driven by an event per se or something catastrophic that may occur per se, but it's really a question of utilization. And we may have someone who maybe is diagnosed with something, don't know what that is, but our history says that is the maximum we could expect for an unknown that pops up.
Correct, and so it could be several unfortunate maximum severity claims, or it could simply be a lot of higher utilization by a number of lives that we insure.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, thank you very much.
Any other comments or questions? If there's no further discussion, thank you very much for the presentation. It was very informative, and like I say, it's always nice to get good news. Thank you.
And just for clarification of the commission, this will be on your agenda next week for approval of this plan with Blue Cross Blue Shield, the changes to dental and setting the premiums. So it'll be on your consent next week.
Very good. That brings us to comments from the county administrator.
The only comment that I have is your next commission meeting will be next Thursday, the 12th at 6 o'clock here in the chambers. And then obviously go Chiefs.
Okay, we'll start with Commissioner Carpenter. Do you have any comments?
No.
Commissioner Thompson? Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner Wagner. Now, there's a controversial statement. Commissioner Lawson.
I just want to wish a happy birthday to our county administrator. I don't know if everybody knew it was her birthday today. She got gorgeous yellow roses. I told her she needs to keep her husband. She told me that she had trained him well. So I guess a combination of both. And then our wonderful Western at-large is, his birthday's tomorrow. And thank you, Megan, for the wonderful cake. Another, a minute on my lips, forever on my hips, but thank you, it was delicious. And happy birthday, baby.
Commissioner Withington.
Yeah, I just want to say happy birthday, Diana. Thank you, Megan, for the Hulk Hogan birthday cake. And, go Chiefs. I was talking to Commissioner Carpenter earlier, and he thinks the Ravens are actually going to win tonight. Can you believe that?
Oh, my.
But I also want to give a shout out to State Rep Maggie Nurnberg. Maggie and I were talking, and she was able to secure a MoDOT grant for us to study access to Harlem, to North Kansas City, to bypass 6 railroad tracks. That's been one of the biggest hindrances to developing Harlem, is the access to North Kansas City. So Maggie was able to secure funding through MoDOT for us. Harlem's one of the, probably one of the most neglected, forgotten places in the county. And so thank you to State Rep Maggie Nurnberg for getting that funding for us. And unlike John, go Chiefs.
Well, I guess my first comment is, John, you can go stand in the hallway. This is Birthday Central today. Today is also my wife's birthday. Now, I am not as well-trained as some husbands are, but I can tell you I'm going to be putting this to very good use. Better late than never on that. But no, I want to say happy birthday to my wife. She's, attractive, and she is smart, and she is a lot of things. The only lack of judgment I can discern on her part was being silly enough to hook up with me and to be with me all these years. But I am benefiting from her lack of vision and her lack of judgment, so I'm not going to shake that table at all. But I just want to say happy birthday to her, happy birthday, Administrator, happy almost birthday, Commissioner. So, we are really, why are we meeting? We should be having birthday week here. We should all be wearing little pointy hats and have noisemakers. That being said, I don't have much else to add to that, except certainly we're all looking forward, most of us. I'm sorry, John, I don't mean to give you so much trouble. But we're all, I think, all looking forward to the Chiefs game, and certainly we will be cheering them on. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you. I'm sorry? It's all right.